Welcome to Real Life Relationships with Deni and Heidi. Another episode. I'm really excited about this episode. We
have our first question.
I know.
Hello.
So welcome to Real Life Relationships to you,
Cheers.
my dear, and to you all. We're going to be discussing the question from the gentleman that sent us a question today, and it's fabulous stuff. So let me get myself situated and get that question out here. You had an exciting week.
I did. Just got back from New York City, and I was on a panel with Helen Fishers and the editor of Your Tango, Melanie Gorman, and Louis Griggs, and another Melanie McGrath. So it was awesome. We had a great time and went to New York City, which was so exciting.
This time of year is beautiful.
Oh my gosh, it was awesome. It was so much fun. So I had a ball, and that was an incredible, panel to be involved with. So I had a blast.
Yeah. Well, good. I thought about you a lot because I love New York City, and it sounded like it was a lot of fun to be on the panel.
Yes,
So
and got to go to Wicked.
Oh,
which was
that's
fun.
right. Yeah, fun.
So it was a great time.
It's a night on the town then.
Yes, and what's funny is our very first question that has come to us is completely about what I did on the panel and who I was with on the panel, so that makes it more exciting.
Absolutely. So let me read the question because I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit.
Yes.
It's a great question. Thank you, Frank. Again,
Yes.
thank you. So is there really something to the behavioral questions on sites like Chemistry or eHarmony that truly adds proven science so you are, in fact, a good, compatible person or a great fit, for lack of better terms? What a great question.
I know.
You're the perfect person to answer.
It is so exciting because just being on this panel with Helen Fisher, and for you that do not know who Helen Fisher is, as I said before, please look her up. And I also, if you go to my site after this video, I will provide you with more information where you can get in touch with Helen Fisher, because this is going to tell you that yes, there is something to the whole compatibility and understanding and going to tests. Because what he wants to know is, if like some of these websites, like online dating sites, like Chemistry.com and eHarmony, they have tests where you fill it out to see if you're a fit. I believe Chemistry.com, their website is really what's got it going on, and that's because Helen Fisher designed it. And the way that she did this, as she did when Mash approached her, she is an anthropologist, and she does everything based on fact, and she does it all in chemistry with the brain. And so she had people, we're talking thousands and thousands of people, fill out all of these questionnaires. And she did it on 2 sex hormones, which are testosterone and estrogen, and 2 neurotransmitters, which is dopamine and serotonin.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so she had these people fill out all the test questions that she had them fill out were based on those questions. And they filled out them answering, I don't even know how many questions she had, but they gave her a great basis on forming 4 personality types.
Before you, because I'm riveted. I can't wait to hear more about that. But we kind of jumped into this episode. I'm Heidi Hardy.
Deni Abbie.
Obviously, I think it's obvious, but if you haven't seen our videos.
Sophie Grace.
And I wanted to make sure that we gave Sophie her attention because she looks absolutely beautiful in her pink today.
And
She sent me a memo and said, wear your pink, and so I did.
You match.
Absolutely. So we're really grateful that you're here and you're listening to Real Life Relationships. As you can see, Deni is the expert in relationships, and that's what you do. You help people with their relationships. You help people with a lot of things.
Yes.
But a big part of what you do is relationship coaching.
Right. I'm a life coach and a hypnotherapist. And so I do anything from helping people overcome anxiety, help them with their relationship, whether it's making it stronger, overcoming a heartbreak. If they're not feeling good about themselves, is learning to love themselves. So a lot of different areas.
Yes, she's fabulous. You have to check out her website. It's www.lovinglife.us. And the www thing, I just like saying it, but
Me too, sounds great.
Just get on the web.
It sounds great, so go for it.
Check out her website. I'm Heidi Hardy, and Real Life is my brand. I'm a sales and marketing professional, and I'll tell you what I bring to the relationship conversation is real life.
That's right.
I mean, obviously, Deni's also has fabulous real life stories, but she is the expert, and I'm the person that's probably experienced everything there is to experience, almost.
So we're a great team.
You were a great team.
We're a great team.
So great question from Frank, and basically, just to follow up, Frank asked, hey, what about these tests that are on dating sites? Is there some scientific proven, I guess, quantitative information behind it?
He says, do they help? Or is there anything to it?
Yeah.
Is there anything to these tests, and do they help? And based on Helen Fisher, her tests I think are fabulous. In fact, as I was trying to say, I actually encourage my clients to take this personality test, and she has a book called Why Him, Why Her. And in that is where this personality test is. And it tells you about the four, I was at the point where I was telling you about the 4 personalities that she came up with. And the personalities that are based on the estrogen, testosterone, dopamine, and serotonin based personalities. But it really, when you take these, you're going to say, oh my gosh, that is me. I mean, it nails it. And when you take these personality tests, why you're doing it is they really help you find out what kind of a person that you should be with. It helps you see why you should be with a certain person. Why do you match better with someone than someone else? Because there's certain characteristics to your personality is why you're attracted to someone over someone else. Like, you go to a cocktail party and you're like, wow, I really, really like talking to that person. Or that person really understood me. Or why we definitely did not click with that other person.
Right. It can be the opposite. It doesn't
Exactly.
always
It's like, okay, 2 seconds with that person, and I'm like, okay, that was not a cool person. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So, and you wonder why that is? Well, Helen Fisher has got that all figured out in her book. It makes so much sense. And when I was reading her book, I'm like, oh my gosh, no wonder I really liked that kind of a person, or no wonder I was like you on some of the other people. And my clients who take it are like, that's great. I mean, oh my gosh. And every one of them that took the test, I said, so is that you? Absolutely. I mean, absolutely.
So does it help you, so there's the Myers-Briggs, there's personality tests that are out there. So does it help you understand yourself and then understand others that you might be looking for?
Yes.
And like Frank asked, there's some accuracy there, is what I'm hearing you say, based on tons of research from Helen Fisher.
Right. And the reason that this helps, the reason this helps is, first of all, you want to know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, everybody thinks they know themselves, and you do to a point. You of course you know who you are. But when you start taking these tests, it explains to you why you click with certain people, why you fit better with one person than another person. And the 4 personality types she comes up with is an explorer is one. Mm-hmm. And that's an adventurer, okay? And then there's a builder. And the builder is into family,
Okay.
all right? And then there's directors, and they're into intelligence. Mm-hmm. And then there's the negotiator. And the negotiator is into passion. And I mean, that's broadly just one word that describes him. There's a whole lot more to each personality type. But like when she goes into her book, explorers go with explorers into story. And builders go with builders. And she's got them mapped out on what they go with and why they go with those people. And why certain explorers do not go with negotiators. And she explains why that is. And so when you start to read this, and you start to understand why, and it really makes sense. And then you start looking back at, say, people who are single, or even people who are married, and they think back.
Married,
and she explains different personality types, like for public figures, and you start looking at their personality, and you're like, well, that really makes sense of why they do or don't go together. So when you start learning these personalities, and you know who you are, and what you're supposed to go for, you're now an educated dater.
Sure.
You know what you should look for. You know it works. And that makes it so much easier. So Helen Fisher talks about, like, okay, so you start going to a cocktail party, and so now you're like, so, are you a builder? What's your personality type?
It's a new pickup line.
It's a new pickup line, yeah. So, what are you? So it makes it better.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. We're coming down to the last, couple minutes that we have here, so I just want to make sure that you tune in for the next episode. What we'll do in the next episode is really go through maybe each personality type and some other ways that you can, either take a personality test like this or start to define yourself and the way who you're attracted to.
Oh, and I'm telling you, you really need to look at this and learn about yourself and what kind of person. And Frank kind of had a really cool his favorite saying, and it said, people are either a drain or a fountain. What do you think of that?
I think it's absolutely true. In fact, another episode, we're going to talk about, what a drain and what a fountain is when you meet someone. But I think everybody understands that, personality type. And I think we can also be both at times. I know I'm not sometimes as giving as I can be, and I become a little draining, and then I get filled up and I can give more. So
we'd all like to be the fountain.
Yeah,
we'd all like to be the fountain.
She
wouldn't it?
love and happiness all the time. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Deni, thank you again. I mean, really good
Heidi.
stuff. I can't wait for our next episode. And make sure to check out Deni's website at lovinglife.us. My website is reallifedfw.com. You can find my YouTube channel there, and we've got some pretty interesting stuff out there.
That's right.
So
Thank you.
Thanks again.